on KATX 97.7. Terry Slavin's with you along with Coach Cliff Watkins. We're live at the First Financial Bank lobby. Come on down and join us. Dale Baker's here. We're going to talk about him a little bit later. No, not JR. They have popcorn. I don't see any cookies yet, but we do have popcorn. Come down and join us and find out all things Eastland Maverick football from the past week. Coach, first of all, congratulations. First head coaching playoff win last week.
Yes, thank you. It's good to get the first one.
Always good to get that first one.
Yes, sir.
And, some years, I'm going back to when Coach Eula was here, that first year we made the playoffs, we were just glad to be there and one and done. Second year we were supposed to win,
right, and
blew a big lead and lost, and that wasn't a good taste. But get that first one under your belt, so it takes that monkey off your back a little bit.
Yes, sir. And that's what I told some people last week. It was good to get the first win out of the way against Merkel, and then it was good to get the first district win out of the way, and then obviously it was really good to get the first playoff win. And now we got to build on that and gain some momentum and get some things rolling.
Last week we made the trip out to Snyder to take on Tuya on a cold, probably the coldest night that we are at. Not probably, definitely the coldest weather we've played in. 30-6 win. Tough first half. I know you on your post-game interview said sloppy was an adjective that you used. And we get the ball on the opening kickoff, and Brandt's having a nice return, has it out to 35, and all of a sudden the ball comes loose, right, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, what could go wrong from here? But on a positive note, the defense stepped up and did a great job keeping them out of the end zone.
They did. Defense did a great job. They get down inside the 20. And we bowed our neck and got a stop, got a turnover actually, and from there, the sloppiness kind of began. I guess I think one of the coaches told me our first drive was 22 plays, 97 yards, which was good to get in the end zone. But my gosh, the penalties, the false starts, the holds, and I guess the bright spot is to be able to overcome all of that and still find a way to get in the end zone your first series.
97-yard drive that went 150.
That's exactly right. And that's the stuff we talked about all week, and that we cannot do. We'll get there obviously, but playing a really good football team, you can't have those penalties. And we turned the ball over a couple times, and that's what we really concentrate on this week, was just being a disciplined football team. Defense, stepped up and had the shutout and did a lot of good things, but there was a lot of stuff we got fixed on Saturday morning in the film room.
Now, one of the things that when you broke down the film, and when you get to the playoffs, and I don't know if a lot of our listeners know this, during the regular season, all of our home games, the officials come out of the Abilene Association.
Right.
Some of our road games, come out of Abilene. I guess Wichita Falls probably
most of them in district
on the road. Where did our officials come from last week? And the point I'm getting to here is different associations call games differently.
Yes, they do.
And that was a lot of flags last week. And you may say, hey, we looked at the film and they were all spot on, legit, or they might have been some that some people turned their head to.
Right. Chapter was out of San Angelo. Then, like you said, we both, the coach from Tully and I, agreed on a chapter. That's how it works in the playoffs. We both agree, and usually want to use somebody that we don't use and their opponent doesn't use. So it's new to both schools, and it's not an advantage to anybody. And so it's just a different crew, and you never know how one crew's going to call different than the other. And
nothing against the crew.
No.
I'm sure that they saw the penalties, but some crews may say, okay, I'm not going to make that call right there, because that first drive, 6, 7 penalties. On both sides of the football.
Right. A lot of offsetting penalties, that were flags on both sides, and just not a good way to start the game.
Now, when Matt Majors made the interception in the end zone, I don't know about you, but I was hollering, take a knee.
Yes.
And he came out got it out to about the 3. But that was a good drive.
He said he saw a lot of grass. I said, Matt, you know how fast those guys are? Doesn't matter how much grass in front of you, you're not going all the way.
But a good drive to start the game. And then the defense comes up with a turnover, and we get back in the end zone. And I have to admit, I was looking down at something, and I missed the 2-point conversion attempt totally. All of a sudden, I looked up, and it was done. And I didn't know what had happened. But, it was 13-0. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, here we go.
Right.
And then the game really just sort of stalled between the 20s. They had the pick six with the speedster out.
Right,
there.
and that's the deal. It was 13-0, and we get the ball back. Defense does a good job again getting off the field. We get the ball back, and we get a few first downs, and we got a chance to kind of put it away early, and just made the right read, just missed the guy, and hit probably their best player on the field, and he goes back to score. But interceptions are bad, but then we, as a whole offense, we've got to get that guy down.
Right.
Doesn't matter if he's out of bounds or on the ground. We got it. Our defense is playing great. We got to give them a chance to get on the field. So that was disappointing that they ran it back. And then, like you said, it's 13-6. And then from there, it was just penalties that halted us. And then we went to half, and it was 13-6. And it shouldn't have been.
Right. Could have been 28-0.
Yes, it probably should have been. And that's what we talked to our guys about at halftime is, this game's close and it shouldn't be. There's no reason these guys should be in a game with us, especially at this point in the season. We can't be playing like this. And they responded, came out and scored 14 points in the third quarter. And I thought moved the ball better, and defense continued to play good.
Definitely want to end this segment on a positive note. The second half was much better. Tuya gets the football at the end of the second half. Defense comes up with a big stop, gets it in our hands. And then Caleb Honey, 3 touchdown runs, and you and I talked about it off the air. When he turns that corner, you better have a pretty daggone good angle on him, or he's going to find a way to find that end zone, that pylon.
That's right. He's the probably the biggest upside to Honey is he accelerates extremely fast, and so in about 3 steps, Honey's going full speed. And so if he can get the edge, he's got a chance to make some explosive plays in the run game, and did a good job of that the other night. Ran the ball 46 times the other night, which is a lot for us, but it was what we were doing, that we were able to move the ball, and did for the most part did a good job up front, and got to spread the ball around, and had 3 different guys carrying the load, and ended up having a good night on the ground.
Honey with 3 touchdowns, I think 68 yards on the ground. Martinez breaks the 100-yard mark. Carr breaks the 100-yard mark. Hayden made some good decisions.
Yes, he did.
Under pressure, whenever he felt that pressure coming in, and ended up with some nice 15, 16-yard runs, picking up some first downs.
Right.
So a good job by Hayden.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he made some good runs in just the run read game, But then, like you said, in the passing game, a couple times they were going to drop everybody and get underneath routes, and there was nobody there, and he was able to step up and see open grass and take off and pick up 15, 20-yard chunks on a call pass when he just took the ball and took off running, and made some good decisions.
Defensively, Clay Carper, a big game. Grandel Thompson, a big game. Overall, the defense just outstanding.
Yes, they another good job. Gus being out last week, Jaden Jones stepped in and filled in and did a good job. Unfortunately, he was injured early in the game, and Bailey was able to come in and hadn't played a lot of snaps defensively. Obviously, we know he's very capable of it, and did a really good job filling in. And defense, like we've talked about all year, they've done a great job stepping up and getting off the field and limiting, their number of plays.
All right, Coach, we're going to go ahead and take our first break. It'll be, I don't even have to tell them how long. They know how long it's going to be. We'll be back with more of the Morning Huddle right here on KATX Sports. And welcome back to the Morning Huddle here on KATX 97.7. Terry Slavens along with Coach Cliff Watkins with you. If you'd like to watch a video edition of the Morning Huddle, it'll be up on HoustonCountyToday.com later this afternoon. Coach, a lot of games last week. Not a whole lot of surprises, but a couple maybe. The first one, Idalou 65, Henrietta 13. No one saw that one coming, but I know from reading some stuff on that, it appears that the wheels just came off on Henrietta early, and they're not a team that can play from behind very well.
Must have. I've heard there was turnovers early, and Idalou got a good lead early, which is going to hurt a team like Henrietta. When my dad told me to score after the game, I said, "No, I think you got that one backwards." And he said, "No, it's right here." But I also know that Idalou, finished second in that district, but had one of their key players out for part of the district, and now he's back, and obviously he helps them out.
And something Coach West and I talked about earlier this week is Idalou has the pedigree. They're a perennial playoff team. Not long, 2010 state champion or so.
Right.
They've been there, they've done that. Henrietta started getting their first taste of consistent playoff action. Spearman 48, City View 7. No real surprise there.
No, I would like to see City View score more than that, but probably didn't have a whole lot of possessions because of what Spearman does offensively and just the clock being ate up.
Post 62, Grape Creek 21. Again, no real surprise there either.
No.
Sonora 35, Kahoma 18. Maybe a little closer than what you would think in a 1 versus 4.
Right. Closer than I thought. Talked to the Sonora coach this week because, that's a possibility of our next round matchup. We both were to win tonight. And he kind of talked like I talked, and must have been kind of a sloppy game for those guys.
And sort of hard maybe to get the guys up for a 1 versus 4 sometimes.
Right.
I mean, that you would hope it wouldn't.
You would hope not. First round of playoffs, but it happens. Right, it happens.
Breckenridge 23, Clyde 16. I mean, most everyone picked Clyde. Breckenridge gets the win there. That game wasn't even close until late. It was 20 something. They were up by 3 scores at one point, and Clyde got some late touchdowns. But then Brett comes back and wins last night 28-7 over Muleshoe, number 1 team in that district, the Muleshoe Mules.
Really? Well, Breckenridge, they obviously are continuing to get better and peaking at the right time and, being able to control the line of scrimmage, and that is huge in the playoffs, being able to control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, and obviously that's what they're being able to do right now.
Cisco Lobos pick up an easy win 53-7 over Highland Park. If you listen to Coach West coming over here, he was not happy with their first half performance. I think his post-game interview, he called it wretched. But they put things together in the second half and took care of business against Highland Park.
Yes, and, his wretched and other people's are probably totally different.
A little different standard there.
That's right. But another good win for them, and I believe they stayed healthy, which was good.
The Dublin Lions, congratulations to Coach Bob Cervetto. They pick up their first win since the year before I was even born. 50 years since the Lions had won a playoff game. They defeat Mildred 54-6.
That's an impressive job Coach Cervetto and his staff has done over there.
4 years.
That's very impressive, and they not only do they do a great job, they're a great group of men, and there's a bright future for the Dublin Lions.
Tonight, or last week, another game that was just, I was driving home trying to find it on the radio or somehow. Stephenville 66, Decatur 64, 4 overtime.
Stephenville was down by 3 with 20 seconds left in the regulation at their own 30-yard line. And crazy finish. They run a play, get a pass interference, run another play, quarterback scrambles. Decatur hits him out of bounds when he steps out. 15-yard penalty, and that's the only reason Stephenville was able to kick a field goal to send it to overtime.
Wow.
And then from there, it went to 4 overtimes, and Stephenville found a way to win. And so that's the deal about the Yellow Jackets. They're not ever going to give up, and they're going to find a way to win the ball game.
Sometimes you got to have some luck.
Yes, you do.
Okay, let's look at some games on tap for tonight. Spearman versus Alpine. Alpine, they beat Colorado City in upset. Well, a seeding upset, definitely an upset there. Alpine winning that ball game. Colorado City probably still shaking their head, wondering how that one got away.
Yes, and I expect Spearman to
take care of business.
Yes.
Cisco versus Post. Expect the Lobos to roll to another area championship there.
Yes, Coleman was up 28-0 on Post at halftime. So.
Dublin versus Newton. Things get a little tougher for Coach Cervetto with Newton tonight.
They do, but I bet you Coach Cervetto and Coach Hardcastle will probably have something up their sleeve, and they'll play the best of their ability.
They're always going to play hard.
That's right.
Idalou versus Sonora. We get the winner, or the winner of our game gets the winner of this game.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and say we get the winner of this game. That one could be interesting.
That's an interesting matchup. Two teams that are going to line up and run the ball right at you. Two physical teams that play good defense. And, I haven't seen either one of them on film, but I would say that it's a probably pretty even matchup. I think it'll be a good game.
Probably a quick game.
It'll probably be over 4 hours.
Most of them are. All right, Coach, we're going to go ahead and take our final break. We'll come back with more of the Morning Huddle right here on KATX Sports. And welcome into the final segment of the morning huddle right here on KATX 97.7. And, Coach, we've talked about everything else, but the big thing we need to talk about right now, Coleman Blue Cats 51-0 winners over Crane last night. They have a running back that's put up some huge numbers.
Yes, he's a very talented runner. He, they're going to line up and toss him the ball. They're going to line up and hand it to him up the middle. They're going to split him out and throw it to him. And but they got a lot of other very good players on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. But looking forward to the matchup.
City View fast?
Yes, just different.
A comment I had when I mentioned that to someone else this week, I said City View fast. They said, yeah, but more discipline. And,
yes. They're, people have said, well, they haven't played many teams that are very good. I don't care what they've played because they've won 11 games in a row. They're 11-0. You've got to be a great football team to win 11 games in a row. It doesn't matter what your schedule is. And the thing is, they haven't played a close game.
Right.
So it doesn't matter if people say, well, they haven't played anybody real strong. Well, they haven't played a close game either. And if you're a good football team and you're not playing strong competition, you're not going to have close games. And that's what they've done. They've gone out and taken care of business every single week. I believe their closest game is 26 points. The closest game they've had, they beat Kahoma 39-13. 26-point lead was the closest. And, the most points they've given up all year is 16. Stanton scored 16 points on them, and I'm guessing that was late because in that game, their running back was named the Built Ford Tough Player of the Week, and he rushed for about 450 yards.
Wow.
And last week against Crane, he rushed for over 200 yards on 12 carries. And like I said, he does a great job. They got a really good quarterback, fullback, great fullback that's a good lead blocker. But then they'll do some things to give him the ball, a little quick hitting plays that, and he can run. He's fast as well. Offensive line does a great job blocking. And one thing that we just talked about with Breckenridge that we must do tonight, we must control the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. That's that's going to be key. And not only control the line of scrimmages, but we've got to be the most physical football team they've played. And we will be. But we've got to find ways to get hits on those guys every single play because those really good players they got, they're playing on offense. They're playing on defense. Number 6, the very talented running back also starts for them at corner. Their quarterback starts for them at safety. Their inside linebacker, probably their best defensive player, number 23, starts for them at receiver. They have linebackers that start on the O-line. They have their fullback that's a really good player, starts for them defensive tackle. And so now we have guys that do the same thing. But we've got to be able to hit those guys and wear on those guys because they haven't – I don't know that they've ever trailed this season, but they've never been in a tight game in the third and fourth quarter. And we've talked all week about starting fast. We talk about that every week, but that is key this week to start fast, get a lead, and see how they're going to respond. They're going to fight. They're 11-0. I mean, they're not just going to say, okay, we're down. We stop. That's not going to happen. They're going to fight, but we need to put them in that situation and see how they respond.
What's their pass-run ratio? What will we see there? Is it 50-50?
No, it's going to be much more run. They base out of the eye, but then they will get into a spread look and get in some doubles and spread you out a little bit. But they're going to base out of the eye. And it's going to be, I would say, 65% run.
Do they huddle?
Yes.
That's the funny thing about Tuya. Tuya didn't huddle.
Right.
But I don't know why they didn't because it took a brand to get a play in anyway. I mean, it was like, go ahead and huddle up.
Right, exactly.
And never really went to a fast-paced game.
Right.
I mean, it was just that was just their style of spread and no huddle, but it was not a hurry-up, no huddle.
Right.
Defensively, what can we expect out of the Blue Cats?
Defensively, they're going to look a lot like Toya scheme-wise. They're going to base out of the split, and now they're going to play straight man coverage a lot of the time. They got good athletes that are fast, and they feel like they can just man you up and get a lot of people in the box to play run. Like I said, number 6 and number 5 are their corners, both very, very good corners. Number two, their quarterback is their safety, and he does a good job roaming the middle of the field. And then their outside backers, they'll man up. So they're going to bring a lot of pressure. They like to bring their backers to twist the guys up front. They're going to give you a lot of different looks, and they're going to try and come after you.
All right, Coach. So everything that I've read this week, most everyone's saying definitely the toughest challenge year for the Blue Cats coming up with these Mavericks, best team they faced all year, and we're hoping to show them just how good we are.
Right.
All right, Coach, before we let you go, it's time to play the Celebrity Pick'em Contest. We're going with the fourth place person in the Pick'em Contest. That would be Dale Baker. We're going to skip the Eastland Coleman game because we know who you're going to pick in that one. And Coleman, actually, Baker took Coleman. No, he didn't. I'm just kidding. Wellington versus Stanford.
I'll go Stanford.
Stephenville versus Estacado.
Yellow Jackets.
Jackets. Dublin versus Newton.
I got to go with Newton, but I'd love to see Dublin win.
Idalou, Sonora.
I'm going to go with Idalou. I think they got a little momentum right now.
Big Springs, Andrews. These two played a game.
I'm going to go Big Springs because Andrews beat them early in the year.
35-34.
It's hard to beat a team twice.
Wolf City, Hico.
I'm going to go with Hico.
Stanford, Auburn.
Auburn.
Minnesota and Nebraska.
Nebraska.
At home. Cowboys at the Giants.
Ooh. Oh, Cowboys. But I don't know how.
You don't know how. That was a tough one there. It was really hard for me to circle that one. Hey, Coach, good luck tonight. Look forward to a Thanksgiving edition of the Morning Huddle next week right here at First Financial Bank.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, my engineer, back in the studio. That would be, Stace Gaddy pushing the buttons today. Thank you for your time this time. For next time, I'm Terry Slavens. Have a fabulous weekend, everyone.